a personal encounter with God shared with you.
For as long as I can remember, I had always dreamed of becoming a mother, but it wasn't happening as easily as I had hoped. A year and a half passed, and I still wasn't pregnant. I was seeing a gynecologist, and he explained that my hormone levels were too low, which meant that without some help, I wouldn't be able to conceive. He recommended I take medication and hormones and told me to wait until I had my period before starting the treatment. In that same month, there was a special revival service at another church. It was December 18th, and I was absolutely exhausted from work. Honestly, I just wanted to go home and rest. I was done with the day, but my friend convinced me to go, and so we went together. At that time, there were 4 women in the church who were all praying for the same thing, to get pregnant. There was the pastor's wife, my friend, another mother, and me. The guest speaker for the revival service was from England, and he mentioned that he had a special gift. He said that when he prayed for women who wanted to get pregnant, they would conceive. He invited all the women in the church who were praying for a child to come forward for prayer. To be honest, I didn't want anyone to know that I was struggling to conceive. It was a deeply personal matter, and I was a bit embarrassed. But my friend, the pastor's wife, and I looked at each other and silently agreed we couldn't let this opportunity pass. So the 3 of us went forward together for prayer. The other mother, who was also hoping for a child, she didn't came that night because it was cold and rainy, and she didn't feel up to travelling. She stayed home, but the 3 of us stood there, together, asking God for a miracle. After the prayer, I still felt like I needed to wait to start the hormone treatment, and then I'd get pregnant. 2 weeks later, my friend called me. She was pregnant. It was such an exciting moment, but I was still waiting to start treatment. It never came, and that's when I found out that I was pregnant too. What was even more a blessing, that the pastor's wife, who had prayed alongside us, was pregnant a month or 2 later. But the other woman, who hadn't come to the service, never had another child. It was such a strange and powerful experience. She later said that she really regretted not coming that night because she was sure that if she had, she too would have become pregnant. It wasn't that she couldn't have children. She already had 4 boys, but it was remarkable that the 3 of us who were there praying that night all became pregnant. My friend's due date came first, but I gave birth 2.5 weeks early. My daughter was born on September 18th, and I was overjoyed. I remember the gynecologist telling me, "This child is not premature, it is full term." At the time, I thought it was interesting that he wanted me to know that, but I didn't fully understand the significance until later. When my daughter was about 4 years old, I gave a testimony at church about this experience. That's when it truly clicked for me. There was exactly 9 months between December 18th and September 18th. My daughter was small, but she was full term. It was such a beautiful realization. God had given me the miracle I had prayed for. What a gift from God! What a promise fulfilled! I will always be grateful for the gift of my miracle child. As 1 Samuel 1:27 says, "I prayed for this child, and the Lord has granted me what I asked of him." God's faithfulness is so real, and his promises are true. Thank you, Lord, for my miracle.
To help us share this message, please like and subscribe. If the story touched you, feel free to leave a comment.